Welcome, everybody, to another episode of It Came from Facebook. Today, producer Logan has brought us some wonderful budget bikes. We're tired of looking cursed bikes. We're going to look at some great options for you today, some really nice stuff. Let's get started with the first one, a 2003 Yamaha FZ1, $4,700. I talk all the time about the FZ1. I think this is one of the best bang for bucks you can get right now. This one has 40,000 miles, not a whole lot for these. Mechanic owned, huge plus. Lots of upgrades and mods, meticulously maintained, 149 rear wheel horsepower, stylish, comfortable, powerful, and reliable. I couldn't agree more. This gentleman has loads of mods. We're not going to read all of these, but suffice it to say, he says, new battery, recently cleaned and serviced and synced the carbs. I did not recall that the 2003 Yamaha FZ1 was carbureted, but I guess it is, but this one's been cleaned, synced, and jetted and all that good stuff, so that's pretty good. New Yamaha OE clutch, plates and springs. That's always really nice because people love to do wheelies on these. Recently rebuilt the water and oil pump. That's really nice. We have the Vortex X ring chain and steel sprocket kit. A little bit of a nice upgrade. The Corbin seat, really nice quality of life upgrade there. Integrated taillight and rear turn signals. We have some fresh coolants and stuff. Let's take a look, shall we? I'm tired of looking at the specs over here. Oh, the FZ1's such a beautiful, beautiful bike. So I guess in 2003, this was before it had the mid-2000s R1 setup, because I think by this point, the R1 was fuel injected. So I didn't realize that these older 2003 FZ1s were carbureted, but my God, this has to be one of the freshest, cleanest FZ1s I've ever seen in my life. He's got the leather guard here on the tank. He's got the Corbin seat. Looks to be some sort of, I'm not really sure what this is with all the holes right here. This looks like it's holding this bracket for the brake back here in some capacity, but I've never seen that. I'm not sure if the FZ1 came with that stock or what's going on. Tires look to have good life. M4 exhaust is going to sound really nice on this beast. 149 horsepower to the tire is sweet. You can do anything with these bikes, man. I've talked about the FZ1 to death. This is just a great package, great all-around motorcycle, a gentlemanly kind of like older man's motorcycle because it's comfortable, still makes loads of power, great to ride. Fun fact, Chris Paris over at the Yamaha Champ School, if you've ever been, he uses an FZ1 and just dusts up on everybody and just has a great time. They're wildly capable for what they are, and it's a pretty sweet ride. This one's in great shape for $4,700. This is so much bike for the money and in such good shape. I'm going to rate this one a solid 9 out of 10. Keep it moving. All right, 2000 Triumph Speed Triple for $3,500. A 9,900 miles, selling this almost perfect Triumph Speed Triple 955i. This bike is as nice of an example as you'll find of this Y2K classic, asking $3,500 or best offer. Very fair price. Garage kept, 2 owners. I just want to remind you guys, we saw wretched, stretched turbo R6s trying to be sold for $8,000. So this guy's selling a great used model for $3,500. Amazing. Clean title in hand, only 2 owners over the years, oil changed every 1,000 miles, includes stand and optional rear passenger seat. Let's take a look. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Look at this bike, man. Producer Logan came through with the goods today, dude. This is my favorite paint that they ever use on any Triumphs, and I so wish that they had made a Daytona with this paint. They never did, as far as I know. But you can obviously get it custom made and stuff. This isn't the acid, no, BMW did the acid yellow. BMW called it some Palo green. I don't know. But this is my absolute favorite green on any Triumph, and any bike really for that matter. This bike is so clean, dude. Oh my God. There's not too many photos of it. You don't really need too many photos of it, do you? It looks completely showroom fresh. It is gorgeous, and I can tell it's been cared for, garage kept. People, whoever, the 2 owners who had this were probably grown adults, really well cared for. I'm seeing the limestone and the vegetation. This kind of looks like Austin or maybe Central Texas. If it is, Lord have mercy, I may pick this thing up. This is way too cool. I have been kind of searching and thinking and wondering about maybe getting a different street bike for myself. I've never pulled the trigger on anything because I'm always too, cheap and lazy to do so. But my God, a classic green speed triple. I can't do these videos, man. I can't do these videos because I just want to buy these bikes. So if you don't know, the speed triple from this particular vintage was the one that kind of started it all. This was the same generation from the 90s where Triumph really kicked things off with the big 955 triple. This was the OG Street Fighter machine from the 90s. Really cool bike, super torquey, super punchy, a little overweight, a little big. But look at that, single-sided swing arm, tri-spoke wheels. It's so Y2K. It's so 2000s. The green looks amazing. It's so well kept. This dash looks incredible. Man, I want one. Oh, Lord have mercy. I do desire one. I do desire a bike like this. I'm going to rate this one a 9.5 out of 10. This might be the cleanest speed triple I have ever seen come up for sale, and I'm pumped. Let's keep it moving. Can we top the last two bikes we have found? This is a true smorgasbord of wonder here. 2004 Ducati Multistrada, $5,000. 2004 MTS 1000, turnkey bike, hop on and go anywhere. 1000cc air-cooled motor with the full stain tune exhaust, rare and discontinued. Recently, Ducati Austin, it's local, boys, it's local, has rebuilt the fuel pump assembly, adjusted the valves, and retuned the bike on a new ECU. I have all the documentation. I also have a stack of receipts for the bike throughout its lifetime. Forks recently rebuilt by Roger at On-Road Off-Road Suspension. These are all local people to me, man. That's ridiculous. I have also personally done the following work. Rebuilt the front calipers, rear brake pads, blah, 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 engine air filter, Conti TKC 70s, installed a rear rack and top box. Let's take a look, shall we? Oh my God. Dude. It's been 3 dad bikes in a row that I would take any of the 3 we just last saw. The price is so right. I can't do these videos. Doesn't matter. My wife doesn't watch the channel. She gets enough of me at home, so I might tell you guys, maybe I'll pick this one up. Oh my God, this is so sick. 2004 Ducati Multistrada, absolutely mint. I have no need for a Multistrada. I literally have a Touareg 660, but this thing's just too good, man. Too good. So for my God, it's so clean, dude. Okay, so for those that don't know, the Multistrada featured a big air-cooled motor. This was really the trend-setting motorcycle of the kind of sport bike on stilts thing. This was before Ducati made the Desert X, the more like rally version Multistradas. Ducati at this point was really just doing road bike stuff. But the Multistrada was one of their first forays into the long travel suspension sport bike thing. So 17s front and rear, but the big juicy air-cooled 1100cc Desmo motor, they used that for forever. That found its way on the Scrambler 1100s. It found its way on the Ducati Hypermotard 1100s. It's a fantastic engine. It's got tons of character and grunt and torque. It's pretty similar to the 803cc V-twin found in the other Scramblers. I actually have one of those myself, but this one just has gobs of torque and gobs of character. The color-matched panniers, the top rack and box, the beautiful paint job. Holy moly, dude. It's just like an embarrassment of riches on this. It came from Craigslist. And what does he want for? $5,000? I mean, it's fair. This is ridiculous. This is the most expensive bike we've seen today. The last 3 have been so clean and nice. And Lord, this is what I tell you guys. Like, if you want a good deal on another bike and you want something different, just wait. I gotta tell myself that sometimes. Sometimes I tell myself, oh yeah, I'm like, go buy some brand new bike. Go do this, go do that. And I literally tell you guys all the time, just get an amazing used bike. They come up for sale all the time. Man, this thing's cool. I got to do something about my lineup, boys. I got to do something. I'm getting way too excited, hot and bothered on today's video with all these dad bikes. All right, we're going to rate this one also a 9.5 out of 10. It's about as good as it gets. Moving on. Okay, no, we're not moving on. I have to talk a little bit more about the cockpit here. Look how well set up this is. Gentleman's got the phone mount. This is just perfect over here. Utilitarian, simple. The handguards. Oh, you could do a lot with this bike, man. Okay, now moving on. 2016 Yamaha FZ-09, $4,500. Hey, look at that. I had this exact year. No, I had a 2014, but close enough. 2016 FZ-09, $4,500. This is a 2016 FZ-09 that runs amazing, never given me any big problems or left me stranded. I don't really want to let it go, just could use the extra cash. Clean title. M4 slip-on exhaust, tail tidy, front light LED swap, windscreen, I like with the quotation, CRG adjustable brake levers, tank grips, pre-wired for trickle charger, sprocket, cam chain tensioner, manual cam chain tensioner. These, I think, have the same issue as the Triumph 3-cylinders where they had a hydraulic cam chain tensioner, and there's like get kind of rattly over time. Doesn't put the mileage on here, which is a little frustrating, but let's take a look. FZ9 is a great bike. Yeah, it's really clean. I mean, for your classic, just like 3-cylinder, go fast squid missile, the first gen FZ-09 was awesome. I had one of these back in 2016. It was a 2014 model year, and I had a load of fun with it, man. It's not the most, let's say, twisty road capable machine. It's not the most, inspiring on the side of the tire. This one does have some scratches here on the actual case. This one also has a little bit of scratching over here. Do we have a mileage listing? Holy moly, 59,000 miles on the clock. That is no joke. This guy rode this bike. Holy crap. So this was an everyday commuter. This bike was must have been used as a daily rider. So that's gonna change some things, right? So as a daily rider motorcycle, you expect to see a little bit more wear and tear. Lord have mercy, at 59,000 miles, I need to see some service records for valves and stuff, but that really is a testament to Yamaha CP3. These things really will run forever. It's like Yamaha overbuilt them for the squids that were going to use them, and they're like, just go nuts. It's cool. Like, just ride the ever-loving crap out of it. So some nice quality of life mods. $4,500 is a bit high for my taste. I think this is a $3,900 motorcycle. I sold my FZ-09 back in 2017 for $4,800 or something like that, and I think that these have depreciated a little bit more. This one especially has a lot of mileage. I think that you could, maybe do a little bit better in terms of the mileage, so we're going to rate this one an 8 out of 10 and keep it moving. 1989 Honda TransAlp XL600V for $4,000. My buddy Brandon has one of these, and they are not easy to get your hands on. They were only sold in America for like a year or two, but then they obviously continued in Europe. So this gentleman says, rare opportunity to get a hold of a classic Honda adventure bike, mechanically solid but cosmetically fair. It's been used as an ADV bike and been around the world. Wow, very cool. From me. This guy says, new tires, new battery, new quart of oil, or 14 quarts of oil. That's nice. Radiator flush, oil change and K&N filter, trickle charger, and some scratches on the plastic. Heated grips, skid plate, crash bars, blah, blah, blah. CDI unit's been adjusted to sit sideways to prevent the old issue of connector damage from the seat. So it looks like a round-the-world motorcycle. Wow. A proper time capsule. So, if you don't know much about the TransAlp, this is a motorcycle that Honda made for a very long time in Europe. It features a V-twin engine, not a parallel twin like the new TransAlps. And it's sort of like a very, at least here in America, a very slept-on model, but those of who know in Europe and around the world know this as a ultra-reliable, great long-distance, true like adventure-style motorcycle. Now, you're going to be able to tell based on the fairings here, based on the overall setup, we're not talking an enduro-crushing machine. If you have the skill sets, possibly you could. This is certainly more of a gravel road, fire road kind of bike, but capable enough to get you into a lot of places and very comfortably get you there too. So we can see this model is, like I said, fair around the edges, but, for its age, it's actually in really great shape. Really cool to see that this motorcycle was utilized as a round-the-world machine. Somebody really had a lot of fun with it in that way. So we see right-side-up forks, some pretty basic equipment on this motorcycle, modified mostly for rider ergonomics and comfort. And I think it's the type of motorcycle that if you are a TransAlp enjoyer and lover, I think you'd have a really good time with this, man. These bikes are very reliable, very well-known for their bulletproof nature, and it's a motorcycle that you could be pretty proud to own. And these are relatively rare in America too. So if you're in the market for one, they don't come up that often, and they certainly don't come up in this kind of condition. This is a pretty sweet bike, and honestly ahead of its time in a lot of ways. This formula now is something that a lot of motorcycle manufacturers are trying to capitalize on. And Honda was making it in 1989, man. That's a long time ago. So hats off to Honda, and yeah, let's keep it moving. All right, 2016 Hyosung GTR 250 seized motor, $1,500, 4,400 miles. Engine is seized due to an oil leak. Everything else in good condition. Blue title in hand, clean VIN. Well, it is very clean, but a completely seized motor on the Hyosung over here, not good. So Hyosung, my knowledge of these is relatively limited. As far as I know, this was a Korean motorcycle company, if I remember correctly. And they never really sold that well here in America. They were kind of like not a joke of a motorcycle, but something that a lot of people thought, it's like, well, why would you ever get this when the Ninja 250 exists? Because this is the GTR 250 from 2016. So I'm not really sure what the story here is on this motorcycle, where it has 4,400 miles on it from like 10 years ago, and the engine seized due to an oil leak. So I guess it was leaking oil, and then you just kept riding it, and then it just stopped moving. All the rotating parts said and just seized up. But it is weirdly clean. $1,500 for this thing. I mean, it's going to be a gigantic headache to try to get it running. And who even knows if you're going to be able to find parts for a Hyosung. So, unfortunately, I think this one, although it does look cool, we're probably going to have to dock it some points, and I would say probably not a buy. Let's put this one as like a 4 out of 10 and keep it moving. 2022 Royal Enfield Continental GT, $4,800. Looks like it has 1,070 miles, S&S exhaust, $4,800, or best offer. Let's take a look. I mean, look at this, dude. So I've been noticing a trend with Royal Enfields where a lot of people that buy them are older folks who are just looking for something classic and cool that looks nice and sounds good. And then they ride the bike in the nicest way. They do barely anything to the machine. They don't modify it in stupid ways or do tacky stuff to it. They just buy it, enjoy it, and then they just sell it. This is a beautiful motorcycle, a perfect example of a great little bike that you could buy, enjoy. The seller wants $4,800 for it, man. I mean, think about the kind of on-road cachet you get with this bike. I mean, we did a video where we had the Royal Enfield. It was stopped up. We had it in the middle of downtown Austin. We were asking folks how much they thought it cost, and people said anywhere from like $15,000 to $20,000. And it's just a handsome, great-looking bike. The paint does a lot of work for the Royal Enfields. So for $4,800 for this little GT, I'm telling you, I'm seeing this trend now where we can find these new Royal Enfields all day, every day, and they're just pretty much everywhere, which is really cool to see. So this one, solid 8 out of 10. Keep it moving. All right, 2013 Honda CBR, $4,000 for a CBR 500R with 6,500 miles, Yoshimura exhaust, excellent condition, like new, rebuild/branded title, new battery, new tires, new oil and filter, full service. Let's take a look, boys. Okay, looks like we're in sunny California. Beautiful scenery in the background there. Seeing this, what year is this from? 2013. That is so funny because I feel like these have been the same since 2013. And it really makes me think that Honda owners have been delusional for the better part of 12 years now, because why would a 2013 CBR 500 cost $4,000 with 6,500 miles? But they rebuilt title, no less. This is like a $2,000 motorcycle at most. I don't care how clean it is. I don't care that the plastics are good or whatever. It's like a 12-year-old Honda 500 that nobody wants anymore, and it's got a rebuilt title. Look, I know you guys can sense my hatred of the 500 bubbling up. I'm trying to tamp it down. Tamp it down. Tamp it down, Yam. Channel it in and tamp it down. Okay. Breathe. I breathed. Okay, we're good. $2,000 motorcycle at best for this. I like the Yoshimura exhaust. Not really going to help the sound because it's a lawnmower engine. But $4,000, what are we smoking here? But this may be a market-specific issue. I've seen people who live in California say, people are crazy. They're trying to sell these old-ass bikes for like 2x what they're worth. And that is something I've seen in the market. Sometimes the price is really high just because everything else is really high in the market. Californians are like, well, we're paying $3 million for a 3-bedroom house, so maybe a CBR 500R is $4,000. I have no idea. So anyways, boys, that's going to wrap up the show today. I'm going to rate this one a 3 out of 10. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you had some fun. Some beautiful listings here. Absolutely making me salivate over the idea of getting something clean and fresh and nice for a little amount of money. Maybe we should do a little budget bike battle here on Yami Noob. Maybe I'll lose my mind here in a little bit, and then I'll sell my desert sled, put up some money for Logan, and then we can both find budget bikes and make them battle or do something in some capacity. Maybe that would be cool. Yeah, I think I'd have a lot of fun with that. You guys let me know if you'd love to see something like that. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. I truly do appreciate it. We will catch you in the next one. See you later.